Well, that was the Dusky Antechinus in a thunderstorm. Some clips that I have from last year, 2023. Welcome to my beautiful office and to 2024. About 4 weeks ago my wife passed away, so I haven't been really wanting to do anything like this, make YouTube videos. But I decided I'd give it a go because I love being creative, keep my mind off things, keep doing stuff. So here we are. This is my third attempt. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I get it right this time and I'm happy with it. So it's all about the Dusky Antechinus with this video and what I have learnt in the past 12 months. I finally understand them. I have learnt so much. But before we get into that, let me talk about the Dusky Antechinus in general so you get a better understanding of them if you haven't been on my channel before. So the Dusky Antechinus is a ground dweller. They live in a forest with thick undergrowth. That has made it extremely difficult, well not just difficult, impossible to study them at all because their lives are hidden. Look how thick the undergrowth is. You just can't see them. Now, about 10 years ago, I built 2 nesting boxes so that I could study the agile Antechinus. And I was very successful with them. I had a trail camera in there 24/7, and every now and then I'd have my XF400 on top, filming in infrared live as the female built her nest and brought up her young. So I got to see all that consistently over quite some years. So I got all this amazing information. I know them intimately, and I was hoping that one day a Dusky might take up one of my nesting boxes. Well, 2 years ago I was very lucky, and that's exactly what happened. So I got to see how she built her nest and raise her young, but only to a certain stage before she took them away. Now, because I haven't had this experience before, I went completely nuts. Still trying to be really respectful and not scare her off. But in the end, I think that's exactly what happened. So I would sit 3 metres away. She eventually got used to me being there. And once her joeys started coming out of the nest itself, I started putting the XF400 on top and filming every day that I possibly could. So I think that's what disturbed her. I was doing that too much and she got nervous and took them away. I thought the next time if I'm lucky enough and get another female take up one of my nesting boxes, I wouldn't interfere, well, as least as possible. And I would also, outside of the nesting box so that they wouldn't be nervous of me, sit much further away. So not be as proactive as I was with that first female Dusky Antechinus. And I was sort of thinking along the lines of not filming in a nesting box at all. Just rely on what I get from the trail cameras. Let's talk about my experience right from the start with the Dusky Antechinus female from last year, 2023. So in May, I started to see a female come into nesting box number 2, just checking it out once or twice a week. So I could see that she was quite interested in it. Come into June, she started building a nest. So I got to see how she built a nest compared with the other one, and I learnt a lot there. It was quite a difference. The first female was a bit lazy. She didn't put a lot of effort into it. But this new female, she put a huge amount of effort into it, and it's quite a solid build, just like what the agile Antechinus do. And towards the end of June, she shifted into nesting box number 2, living there permanently. She was quickly accompanied by 2 other females, which answered one of my big questions. Do the Dusky share communal nesting sites? And it seems that is the case. Some things that I've sort of always interested in, toilet behaviour. Now with the main female, she would do just like what the agile Antechinus do. She'll go up to the entrance of the nesting site about face, so put her bum outside and do her business out there. Then come down into the nest and go back to sleep, where the other two females would come out of the nest itself and do their business right at the side of the nest and then go back in. Was that because that it wasn't their nesting site and they didn't care and they weren't going to be there long? That's something I'll yet to see, whether that is not a normal behaviour when you're raising your young. Maybe those other two females would do their business, somewhere else away from the nest. It's something I'm yet to work out properly. But at the minute, we'll just ponder on that. And moving into August, we start to see the males turning up and mating with each of the females. So I got to witness this mating behaviour. One particular day, there was some really odd behaviour that, oh man, it just blew me away when I saw it. A real insight to this mating behaviour and how the males interact with each other. So here's that clip. So we have one male coming down into the nest, starts mating with the female. Within a minute, another male turns up, slowly works his way down to the nest and then puts his nose in, and the other male quickly chases him off up to the entrance. Now, this is just amazing what happens from here. I was amazed by it all. So truly an amazing event. I keep watching that every now and then, over and over again. It's funny, and the knowledge you get from it's just been amazing. It was pretending it was dead, and it was pretty much like a submission to the bigger male. That's it, I'm not fighting with you, go away, leave me alone. Once breeding season finished, the other two females disappeared. The original female that built the nest stayed there. So I got to see how she brought her young up, and going well past that original female that I watched. So comparing the two, seeing the differences and how their parenting skills and everything were. That's what I need to see a lot more of. So, seeing at least another time to get a good idea, an accurate idea, what is the normal thing for bringing up your young with the Dusky. So I stuck to the rule of not interfering, as least as possible. Only coming and checking on the trail camera once a week. Take out the memory card, swap it with a new one. Take that data home and archive it properly. Study it when I got the time. And make sure that the batteries are okay in my trail camera. And also I was sitting much further away, like 2 metres further, to make sure that I didn't frighten this new female off. But when we come to September, when the joeys were left in the nest permanently, that's when my wife was diagnosed with cancer. And from there on in, I couldn't interfere. Had to stay with my wife and make sure that, I was looking after her properly and everything, just dedicating myself to her. Coming out when I could to, again, just look after that trail camera, make sure that everything was okay, and archive the footage and have a look at it when I got the chance. So it has gone full term. So what I have learnt so far of going back, now that I have all this time, going back and having a look at the footage, that a new development has happened with how long a female will stay with their joeys. So I'm yet to confirm this, I'll have to see it again. But this female, Dusky Antechinus, stayed with the joeys after they started coming out of the nest. She kept coming back for a full month and staying with them. With the agile Antechinus, that is not the case. Decides that they're old enough to look after themselves, she'll leave the nesting site early in the morning and come back late in the afternoon. So to force them to come out through hunger. So once she comes back later on that night, she'll see that they're okay. She'll go off and take up residence with a communal nesting site and not have really any more part of their lives. She'll come and check on them for the rest of that week, but that's about it. She leaves them to their own devices because they're now juvenile joeys looking after themselves. But with the Dusky, that is not the case at all. So that mother, yep, she's stayed with them, coming back from her hunting expeditions and sleeping with them. So all that information I've gathered up until that time, a month of her staying there, I'm just going to keep going over it and make sure my interpretation of what I'm seeing is accurate and that I haven't made up a story about it in my mind. You've got to make sure that it's accurate information that I'll be writing down in the diary. So going beyond that, the female slowly disappeared. Haven't seen her for 2 months now. And the joeys stayed there, and the 3 males disappeared at some stage, and it became a female communal nesting site. So again, we get to confirm that they do have a communal nesting site. And as weeks went on, I started to see females, older females coming in, just 1 or 2 every now and then, staying for a couple of nights. It looks like they haven't stayed there for any longer than that, and they've moved on. So like the Agile Antechinus, communal nesting sites will change day to day with how many will stay in there. I am not seeing any more than 7 in there at a time. That's as much as I can work out what's going in there. So what an amazing experience. Finally I get a big insight into how they go about building nests, bringing up their young, and then the interaction with the joeys as they progress, growing and maturing through the year. So I would love to see what happens for the rest of the year, how they get on during the winter months, how much they go out hunting. So like with the Agile, during the daytime, the activity seems to stop. They don't come out much during the day. It's pretty much just at night. And that could come down to the lack of food. It's just not worth the burning up all that energy during the day. But coming out at night, there would be plenty of things for them to find to eat. Looking forward to the future, and hopefully we get another Dusky Antechinus female nesting in my nesting boxes, so we can confirm, make sure that the information that we're getting is consistent throughout, and that we can 100% tell the right story when we go to write a book or do a documentary on them or something. So that is all I've got for you for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've done a good job for a change. And yes, lots of things to come, lots of new adventures. Still not sure on where life is taking me at the minute, but I would love to build on my channel. I've got all this time. I need to do something with it and, you know, blank out what's been going on. So head down, ass up, get on with life and start trying to enjoy it again. And I am waffling on, so I'm going to leave you here with, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face just down there in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell, you'll get notification whenever I do anything else. And if you want to go and have a look at all the other mad and crazy things I've been doing over the years, click on my icon right here at the end of this video, take it to my channel. I talk about photographing and filming in the forest and open forest environments. Whenever I go on adventures, I always take you with me. And when I buy cameras and camera equipment, I do reviews on them and give you my honest opinion on them. So go and have a browse. There'll be something of interest to you there, I am sure. Now just remember, you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.